in a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers. The final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss. There wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anoa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the Sacred Blood Bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds,
Steel had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler.
Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steel.
We'll see which prevails tonight.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking out George the Animal Steel in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain them.
Running power slam!
Peter Maivia very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows, maybe we'll see the Maivia name on Hollywood billboards again sometime.
Well, before any of that happens, the High Chief needs to survive this war against the animal.
What a counter by Peter Maivia.
Punch to the stomach and
Double leg takedown, got the shoulders down.
Countered into a new cover.
Hold on.
Trying to steal one here. And he breaks the count quickly.
Keeping a loss at bay for now. Headlock. Oh, cheap shot right above the eye.
the animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before. It was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steel to get even crazier.
Oh, Maivia is prepared, all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon.
We've seen that Steel isn't above using a foreign object to gain the edge against Maivia. So he's got to have the advantage in a match where they're surrounded by one huge weapon, right?
Well, you'd think that, Cole, but think about how these men prepared for this match. The High Chief is a consummate professional who's game planned for this stipulation. And Steel, well, I think he just shows up to the arena and asks who he's fighting.
George the Animal Steel might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steel's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage.
Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence.
Double leg takedown. Gonna stack them up here.
Shoulder pin. Oh, turning the pin around.
And what's this?
Why'd he do that? What's going on?
Momentum is all with Maivia now.
Yeah, and Maivia has really figured the animal out here.
From the top.
Oh, using the knee.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian. And the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anoa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan.
When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people and the tribal ink that covers his body. The animal may be wounded prey at this point.
The High Chief closing in on a successful hunt. What's Maivia got here?
That'll do some serious damage.
And George is laid out.
Oh, man.
Maivia just dominated the animal with that one.
Gentlemen, we touched on the differences between Maivia and Steel as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and definitely eye-catching.
And Steel is, well, he's an ugly creature. With enough hair on his upper torso to classify as fur, folds in his bald head. He's like a modern-day Neanderthal.
Grabbing a hold of their opponent, face first into the cage.
Being placed onto the top rope. All the way up top.
Nasty arm drag. Peter Maivia is looking unstoppable now.
And you can see Steel is struggling to weather the storm with the High Chief.
Enough already.
George the Animal Steel is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the Animal.
But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief, Peter Maivia. And when you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer, haymaker after haymaker. Ooh.
Giving up now is not an option. They have to finish this.
Back and forth, neither one giving up any ground.
The willpower, the sheer guts of these two.
Toe-to-toe, treating each other like heavy bags.
Exhaustion setting in, and neither one of them is letting up.
Jarring European uppercut.
Oh, my God. Dropped it with a big shoulder tackle.
The High Chief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself in WWE. Hold on a second. Could be a matter of time. Submission being locked in.
The stump puller.
The leg is only getting cinched in deeper, struggling to force him. He had it locked in. I didn't expect him to just let go.
I don't know what he's thinking, but he needs to focus on the task at hand.
Once more, setting it up. Caught with the backbreaker.
Is it enough? Is it enough for Peter Maivia?
Peter Maivia rallying this crowd behind him. Here comes another one.
Ooh, I might have just broken something.
Hits it again, and no way this goes any longer.
You gotta admire the determination here.
Here he is. He made it to the top of the cage. He's getting even closer to making an escape.
He's halfway home. Time to start the descent.
Now transition into the outside.
Come on, hurry.
He just needs to get both feet on the ground now.
And the High Chief defeats the Animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief, Peter Maivia.
George Steele is one tough animal, but the way Maivia faced him in the cage tonight just reinforced what everyone already knew, that the High Chief is one tough Samoan.